we should be here.
Yeah, it's up there now.
Right, hello everybody once again. Apologies for that. We had a few technical difficulties with my internet having a shite. So we are back. We haven't missed very much. There's a safety car out at the moment, but Cav, why don't you bring us back up to speed as to what happened there?
Yeah, so restart obviously was pretty static for everybody, and then carnage started to ensue once I think you'd lost your connection to the stream. So we had Papa looking to make a move on Aaron McCann. We know Aaron is still on those older hard tyres, and unfortunately there was contact which put Papa into the pits. So as you'll notice, Papa's down in 12th now on a fresh set of mediums with a new nose, but with an awful lot of work to do. And you'll see Mayo Man going into the pits there as well. And we also had contact between the Alpine of Ryan Curran and the Williams, which was of Mayo Man. So you see a little bit of a shake-up of the order. Budge still hasn't gotten past McJohnjo. McJohnjo showing good pace on those hards so far. Rory Drayan only has made progress in the sense that King Papa now has dropped to the back. So it is pretty much as we were. Aaron McCann, as we know, still has to make his mandatory stops. So let's see what happens. We are on safety car 3. As I said earlier, if we get one more in maybe 5, 6, 7 laps time, how many drivers will go in for those soft tyres? And if they do, will that leave Aaron McCann, in a really good position to win this race?
Indeed, yeah. So Aaron McCann still hasn't boxed, so be interesting now. He is going to have to opt for those soft tyres at the end. He's going to have to stay out. Now would have been a good time to go on the mediums. Of course, track position is quite important here, coming into the last few laps. It's hard to overtake. At the start, it's not too bad because you'll have a lot of cars crashing into walls, spinning out. Then you can gain your positions. But coming into these last few critical laps, this is where you want to be in a good position to set yourself up for the end of the race. So we'll see now what Aaron McCann does. It'll be interesting. It's always good to see a mix of strategies around, as the safety car is going to be going in this lap.
And for all those drivers on 9-lap hards, or even for Aaron on 14-lap old hards, they haven't actually done that many racing laps, so lots of life left in them yet. And before we get this restart underway, we should give a shout out to Meeps. I see him in the chat there. Good to see Meeps joining us. Very popular member of the community, and of course streams Wheel to Wheel himself, so you're very welcome, Meeps. And Aaron goes.
Yeah, on the way now. Earning that ERS off the restart. Brando very close to the back from here. Can we see an overtake for the lead between these two teammates here? Going through the inside of turn 1 goes Brando. He goes off the track slightly as well, and he's into the wall.
Yeah, Brando is
completely out. And can that be another safety car straight after the previous one? I don't think so.
No, it looks like we're going to get back underway here. There's a green flag in sector 1. But yeah, all sorts of issues. We know Brando had been having trouble with his internet early on.
Completely outbraked himself, I believe, and Aaron McCann just let him go and watched what happened ahead of him, and that was good night for his teammate. But keeping the lead so far is Aaron McCann with quite a quick Sanko right behind him, Romanosaurus in P3 as well from the back. So impressive from him. And can Sanko actually go for a move here? Not going to be using any of his ERS, but he's going to go side by side through turn 9. He's going to try and keep the car there. Aaron McCann closes the door and stays ahead for the lead at the moment. But Sanko seems to have very quick straight line speed. Will he go for a dive through the inside? He will, a half send. And locks up a little bit as well, but Aaron McCann places the car very nicely. And it is another safety car.
Yeah, Ryan Curran in sector 1 had issues and he's lost his nose, so he's going to be coming back in this lap. And King Papa also losing it through 9 and 10, and again he'll have to come into the pits once more. So
Aaron McCann into the pits now.
Goodness.
So that's interesting. He's going to lose a lot of positions.
He will. He'll come out probably 10th, you would think, if none of the others box. King Papa and Ryan, we know, are going to have to come in. So yeah, how much progress can he make now on those fresh mediums? He has a lot of drivers in front of him who are on pretty healthy tyres, so there's a lot of work to do. As Sanko takes over the net lead of this race.
He does indeed, and he doesn't have to stop again.
No, that's everyone done now.
It's looking good at the moment. That is safety car number 4, so not looking good at the moment.
No.
We're
Warm
looking,
up those vocal cords.
as Daniel Mullen put it, yeah, indeed. Very excited here in the chat.
So this has been a messy race, and I have to say, I know it's a tough track at times, particularly the curbs can be quite lethal, but I didn't expect it to be this poor. A couple of drivers really getting caught out by cold tyres and clearly not running enough wing in some cases.
And there's Wheelo in the chat now. Do I want a loanier potion for Tuesday? I would, actually. The potion whatever you were drinking there in Portugal. I'd like a bit of that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll get in touch. Yeah. So, and Rian putting into the chat, how is there no pens? That is a very good question. Ryan Curran's the only person currently with penalties.
Yeah.
I think he has like 12 seconds. He has 9
Ryan
seconds.
has 9, yeah. He has 3 time penalties, so
this is a track where penalties usually come into play. We might see a lot of them on the last few laps. I'm sure a lot of lads have 2 warnings at the minute, 1 or 2 warnings built up maybe. But yeah, very impressive that 11 lads have managed to keep out of harm's way in terms of warnings. So
yeah, and I was thinking exactly what JT has put in there, which is there isn't any warnings because we haven't really had that much racing. Every time we've got going, we've stopped again, so maybe this time we'll get a clean run of laps. We'll see. Certainly at this stage it looks like if you finish, there's a strong chance you're going to score some points.
And Big Dave, once again, he's going to tune in after 12 to see how we're doing. I'd say we'd still be on lap 20 by then, so you might want to leave it till about 1 o'clock. Yeah. And then we might be into the late 20s then, in terms of laps.
For sure. I imagine Dave is on the bookie as usual.
No imagination needed for that one. That's a given usually.
That's a fact, absolutely. It's harder to pick out the times when he's not on it, I suppose.
It's glued to him.
Daniel's saying it used to obviously be a narrower track, which is fair. I have to say, this is probably an unpopular opinion, I prefer the old layout. I miss it. 1, because I knew it like the back of my hand, but 2, it's, I don't know, I think the higher speed now is just more liable to the bit of carnage.
There's a bit of messing going on behind there. I think like John Joe might have had a little spin or something there because
he's dropped out of position. Budge now up to P6. Alex and Mayo also promoted, so all in really good positions. And safety car in this lap. He's been out a few times, but he's not sticking around. Probably needs fuel.
Right, Sanko is going to be restarting us for the first time today. We'll see what he can do.
Behind him. A pacey Roninosaurus. Can he do a last to first? We will see.
And then he has Burley Ryan right behind him then. So let's see what will happen. Hopefully not another safety car. Come on lads. Let's keep it clean for my sake. And for all of our sakes, for our ears, I think. And I think that's Sanko gone already. I think he's gonna fake them out a little bit. And
he's gone now.
Underway, yeah, he is gone. We are back underway after the safety car, and it's a good restart from Ronan there, keeping nice and close to Sanko. And McJohn straight into the pits.
So he obviously had contact on the safety car, and Ronan now having a look at Sanko, he's very quick behind him.
He is indeed, and he has Rory Drain right behind him, so he needs to make no mistakes off this restart as Budge gets past Blue Gunner, and that is a retirement in the pits.
Heavy lift for Blue there. I think he might have let him pass as he has a huge snap, and Alex is going to be up the inside of him. Oh, and there's contact. Alex is around and he's retired.
And is that going to be another safety car?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank God. Right, we're still underway.
Safe for now.
And Mayo Man nearly hitting the back of Blue Gunner. Blue Gunner might have a bit of damage here. I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's losing a lot of positions, a lot of pace. And Mayo Man is straight by him. No visible damage on Blue Gunner's car. And Jesus, car is racing there. The F1 gods have saved me. For now. For now, indeed. That is the key 2 words.
Yeah, Blue Gunner on old hards. I wonder, is he just not choosing battles he doesn't need to get involved in? I know he's obviously good friends as well with the lads there, so might just be staying out of the way. Certainly seems to be struggling with a lot of oversteer as well, so could be part of it. But he has Aaron McCann now on the back of him.
So Ronan has lost a little bit of time to Sanko ahead of him. Not completely out of DRS, but he seems to be falling back just a little bit. Sanko seems to be quite confident on those hards.
Yeah, and DK at the moment falling back from Rory Drain as well, so...
He'll still have to pit on those mediums, so will Budge.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, how many actual racing laps have those tyres done? They've probably only done about 3, so...
Yeah, that's actually...
You know, I'm also thinking if I jumped in my Red Bull at this stage and had a lap myself, I might actually walk up the field. Oh, no! McCann retires! And it's not going to be one.
We're watching that pit lane, and it's not going to be another safety car. Holy Jesus.
They're still refueling,
they're doing it on purpose at this point.
So that leaves us with 9 runners and only 8 in the pack, so... Wow. As Romanosaurus now does close in on Sanko a bit, and he's had to burn a little bit to do it, but still has more ERS than Sanko, and we'll have DRS all going well next time around, so... Let's see what happens.
Mayo Man now looking quick on those fresh mediums, very close to the back of his good friend Budge. Now let's see if Budge will get the boxing gloves out and box the head off of Mayo, trying to get past him. He does have those faster tyres, and Budge still may need to pit. I think he might stay out anyway, but Mayo Man with the fastest lap, looking very quick at the moment, nonetheless.
Budge was burning on the main straight there, Mayo Man choosing not to, so he's been patient. I wonder will he have a go.
And Daniel, what's the lotto numbers? Jeez, I will have to do the lotto now this week. Depending on how these next 8 laps go. But now Budge very close to the back of DK here. DK trying to hold on to that P4. And those 16 lap old mediums, probably about 1 racing lap on them though, to be fair. But let's see now, Budge. We don't have a DRS zone here just yet, but we will in the next game.
Next time around.
And that is going to be... It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be an interesting Australian Grand Prix if we do have one next season. Let's see now. Budge's going to do very tempted through 9 and 10, and he does have Mayo Man right behind him now. Mayo Man isn't burned the ERS.
No, he's having a look. For now. Having a look with interest. Mayo gets a move on here. He could be well in contention for this race. He has the best tyres of that top 6 pack, and realistically the top 6 have broken away by themselves now, so it's 1 from 6 that's going to win this. As it stands. And DK now surely this time around will be in trouble. Moves into a defensive position. Budge having a look, backs out of it.
Will he have him here now? Will DK have the DRS? I don't think DK will have the DRS here. No, he won't. Budge round the outside here. Will he make it happen before the braking zone? He does. DK gets out of it. Budge goes a little deep there through the corner, but he has placed the car nicely ahead of him. And now Mayo Man
from Budge.
Mayo Man very close to the back of DK, going over the curbs a little bit too much. That would have scared the life out of him, I'm guessing. And here he goes now, Mayo Man trying to get the best exit possible. I am Alex's left, he is out of the race unfortunately. And here is Mayo Man now. We don't have a DRS zone here. He's going to burn the ERS just a little bit, but DK seems to have good straight line speed.
Yeah, and he's hanging on to the back of Budge, so this will be an interesting battle now off of this DRS straight, but Mayo gets a super exit.
Yeah,
and
very
Mayo's
nice.
going to have him, and will he take Budge as well? We'll see.
He's going to get close to him here. Stays behind him just about.
Yeah.
It's a good overtake from Mayo, set him up very nicely.
So out front still, we have Ronan and Rory running in the DRS of each other, along with Sanko. 3-way battle for the lead at the moment. Budge with a bit of ground to make up if he wants to come into this battle for the podium.
And Mayo Man, once again, right on the back of Budge. So, Budge is derating as well, so Mayo will see that. Whether he's in a party with him, I'm not sure. So, I don't know if they're communicating with each other here.
Yeah, Mayo really needs to get a move on here if he wants to compete for this podium. He has the pace and the tyres to do it. Budge seems to be struggling out of VRS as you said, and those tyres have seen better days. But what will Mayo decide to do? Teammates last season, of course, no longer in the Red Bull together though. Mayo has his own agenda. Looking mighty quick.
So Rory Drain as well, looking quick behind The Aston Martin of Ronan. Ronan again having super straight line speed. He might even get the overtake done on Sanko. Very close, having a little look through turn 9. And now into turn 10, Sanko gets a very good exit. Oh, nearly has a little slip there. Ronan, with the straight line speed, will surely have this move done for the lead. Through the inside goes Ronan on Sanko. Sanko brakes very late there. Nearly outbrakes himself. And Mayo is actually
around
through
the
on
outside
Budge.
of Budge. Yeah, they raced for position there. There was no love lost. Budge didn't let him past. But really, really good wheel-to-wheel racing from the two lads, and Mayo just had the better drive off the exit. So Mayo now already within a second of Rory Drain. How much more progress can Mayo make? He's got another good 6 laps around to make the progress here.
Yeah, Ronan got very close to overtaking Sanko, but I think it was a very smart decision not to go for that, because you know through turn, I think it's turn 12, that right-hander, very easy to get on that red curve when you're overtaking, and then once again very easy to spin. So thinking about the long term is Ronan. Very, very smart decision from him.
So Mayo now within 6/10.
Can Mayo man get on the podium here?
Yeah, or can he get the win? I mean, he has the best tyres, as I've said,
Oh
and there
no,
is an
there's
issue.
the answer.
Yeah.
That is that for Mayo. You can only assume he is not going to get the podium now after that penalty. Looking so quick on those tyres. So unfortunate for Mayo, but can he get it on track though? This is the next question now.
Yeah, of course, we don't know how he accumulated those 3 warnings either, so we know how he got that one.
Very nicely. Apart from there, I don't know, he might have gotten away with a warning there. You never know. And very close as Rory Drain to the back of Ronan, and the same with Mayo man to Rory Drain.
Yeah, so depending on how Mayo accumulated those, there's always the chance we have to remember that he could be confident in getting one of them removed. So
possible.
Will he still look to get ahead here? He has much better drive than the top 3 on exit.
There's no straight line speed, that was the only thing for Mayo.
Yeah, explains his traction.
And here's Ronan now. Of course we know he has very low wings around here, but it's going to be low enough to get past Sanko. Not on this occasion. He needs to save his ERS for the next few laps. He has the pace in the straight line to keep Rory Drain behind him. So he needs to save up the ERS, get around 50%, and then go for a full-on attack on Sanko if he wants this win. It's going to be a big fight for the win here between the top 3. Mayo man would be involved, but he does have that penalty. You can only assume it's going to stay for now.
Well, let's not rule out Budge. Budge is still hanging on there. I know his tyres are 15 laps on them, but he is well in the DRS zone there and still looking racy. And time penalties and everything else could still come into play. So,
man,
see how the top
very
3
good
do.
at turn 9 and 10. Very impressive how he takes it each time. Very good exit. He's not going to be close enough to Rory to make a move on this occasion. Rory gets a very good exit there on Ronan. Ronan loses a slight little bit of time to Sanko ahead of him. So can this be Rory Drain's chance to get past Ronan? Although he does have very quick straight line speed. Needs to get a good exit on him here. Looks like he did. Gets good rotation around the last corner. Is he going to get close enough? He sees the flashing red light of Ronan ahead of him. Can this be an indication to get past him here?
Oh, he needed a better exit. He needed a better exit. He still has a chance, but he's going to have to send it.
You know,
I don't think Rory
like
will.
a send. No, doesn't.
No. So he lives to fight another day, but yeah, Ronan now with only a single digit ERS when he's on the straights. Rory, a bit more to his name. And we should say a late good evening to Serious Mushroom, as always. One of our mainstays in the chat. Good to see him as always. And Ronan once again now derating. John Joe gets 3 seconds, so that will do nothing to his race.
And here comes Mayo man now. Got a great exit compared to Rory Drain. He has a lot of ERS to use as well. Can he go for a dive? He's going to stay behind him. And that, as we all know, and as Mayo man has showed, he knows not a great place for an overtake. As can this be a good place for it? No, he backs out once again. Not much aggression from Mayo man today. He wants to have the perfect overtake, having it done on the straight. Going to use his ERS once again. Huge amount of ERS from Mayo man. Great ERS management from him. Driving a very smart race. If only he didn't have that penalty, we'd definitely be able to see him on the podium today. Sure, he'll get a move
Yeah,
on
I
Rory
think
Drain.
without that penalty, he might have sent one of those moves in the last couple of laps, but certainly not worth it if he's thinking that those 3 seconds are going to stick. You know, he's finishing at this stage P5 unless someone else accumulates one of the last 3 laps, so Mayo might just be driving this steady. But what can Rory do? Because the top 3
Terrible
are racing
exit
here
from
straight
Ronan
out.
there. Although he does have good straight line speed, Rory might be able to get a run on him here. He's just pulling away once again, is Ronan. And he's going to have the DRS again on this next straight. Can Rory get a better exit through turn 10 than him? He doesn't. And Mayo Man again is going to gain a good bit of time on him. That's unfortunate for Rory that he has such high wings.
Yeah, the top 3 now are all in single digit ERS modes, so red lights everywhere. It's Christmas in the top 3, but for Mayo, he's 70% still, and I'm expecting he's going to let this loose on the next couple of straights because he'll do well to burn that in 2 laps.
Definitely will. And here he goes. He's going to burn it now to try and get past Rory Drain here. And he has a great run on him through, and Rory
There he
Drain's going to let
goes.
him go.
Yeah.
And that is a smart move from Rory. No point in losing himself time. He knows he's going to get back past him. Can Mayo Man go for another overtake on this next DRS straight? I don't know
He's
if he
not
has the
burning.
advantage on the tyres. He's not going to burn it just yet. I think he's driving a very smart race. We can only assume that he knew he wasn't going to get close enough to him because we know Mayo Man doesn't like a dive bomb. And he's showing that today. So he wants a good overtake and he might be able to get it here on the grass as well.
Beautiful.
Mayo Man, what an overtake that was. Gets right past him, and that was majestic from Mayo Man.
And 1 to go,
Superb.
and with Sanko now burning everything he has left, Mayo could get this done.
Mayo could get the win on track. It is an absolute pity that he couldn't, that he has that penalty. But Mayo Man driving an absolutely superb race so far.
He's
in
wringing the neck
P2
out of that
at the
car,
moment.
and with the double DRS zone down the first 2 straights, I think Mayo could get this done if he plays his cards right.
Could get this win on track, and he might be able to get himself a gap to hold onto a podium possibly. He's looking very quick, so it definitely is a possibility. Let's see what Mayo Man can do on Sanko on this final lap. Who's going to get this win on track? We know Sanko will most likely get the win after penalties, but Mayo Man could get it for himself on track for a little bit of an ego boost. Here we go,
He gets a
Mayo
good
Man.
exit, he's going to have this.
Very good exit as the DRS activated. Oh, he's going for the inside there on the grass. Once again, he likes that grass. He's
Go
making
on
it dramatic. Through the inside he goes, and it's a great overtake for the lead for Mayo Man. Now, he is going to have to put the pedal to the metal to try and bridge himself a gap. He is very quick on those mediums. Super pace from Mayo Man today. On the grass once again. He is loving the grass today. Can he get himself that podium? He needs a 3-second gap from Ronan. Or from Rory, I think. Yeah, from Rory
Yeah,
to get the podium.
If you look at gap to leader right now, it's 2.2 to Budge, so what can Mayo do for himself in these last few corners? He needs to let everything out. He has a little bit in the tank still of ERS, driving really nicely though. And yeah, he's here to steal your win and cut your grass. Mayo Man into sector 3. What can he do?
He's
His
not going to
exit
get on the
speed
podium.
is
It's going to be
very
very
quick.
close. 2.5 to Rory Drain. 2.6 now. He needs a great exit out of these next 2 corners. Rory's very close to Ronan, so this might hamper him a little bit.
A little snap for Mayo.
It's going to be very close for Mayo Man to get onto this podium. He's going to have to burn everything. He's not burning DRS. Boom! And he's burning it. God, no, he hasn't made it. And Mayo Man
drops
is in
the fart.
P4.
Oh.
And it's so unfortunate. If only he burned that ERS, he could have gotten it. But
My
that
goodness.
that was a fantastic race from Mayo Man. Sanko has taken the win after penalties from Mayo Man. But I think driver today, we cannot give it to anybody else except for Mayo Man. An absolutely fantastic race.
Absolutely, and I know we usually only get the podium in, but fuck it, Mayo can come in and talk to us as well
Absolutely,
if he is available. We'll hear
Sure.
all about that, and we'll find out, is there any chance of any of those warnings been removed? Who knows, but what a drive. And it's just a shame he didn't maybe get past Budge that little bit earlier. One more lap and he would have had the field.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate for Mayo Man, but that is a sign of good things to come for him throughout the rest of the season. He has shown superb pace today. And drive of the day, there you go, for Mayo Man. Absolutely fantastic drive.
Wow. Okay, so it took us 20 odd laps to get going, but once we did, we didn't hear you singing, and I think we're all glad of that. But we did get a race.
For a bit.
Yeah, for more reasons than one. So, in the final standings, as they currently are, winning his first race of the season, a return to form no less for Sanko in the Alfa Romeo.
Finally.
Rhonosaurus, a good drive from the back of the grid, let us not forget, into P2, and Rory Drain once again staying out of trouble and coming up with a podium in P3. Mayo with that late time penalty drops to P4, and Budge, championship leader, in P5. Good day's work for him. Blue Gunner brings it home in P6 after, we'll say, a somewhat troubled race. Similarly, DK in 7th, King Papa in 8th after issues late on, and Mac Jonjo in P9, our last actual finisher. And then we lost Aaron McCann, I Am Alex, Ryan Curran, Brando Foxy, Sully TM, Carl C, Aaron Sully, and LOI_Griffin. So a long list of casualties there. Mick Jonjo taking the fastest lap. Wow.
So
that was entertaining.
Yeah, last few laps, very, very entertaining. Mayo Man, definitely the showman, and he is showing. And we have to mention a certain someone in that Alfa Romeo, Blue Gunner, managing to get himself a nice P6 today. So it's a good day's work from him. He was troubled a little bit today, but starting from 12th to get himself up to 6th, it's a decent show from Blue Gunner.
Absolutely. So we just wait for the few lads to join us. Sanko, hopefully we get to speak to Rory. We're always speaking to Rory. I feel like he's going to be the Bluefoot of this season, along with Budge.
Yeah, indeed.
And hopefully we might get Rhonosaurus as well. And we'll look for Mayo if he's available. We'll just give everyone a couple of minutes.
So we have our race winner in. We will get the rest of the lads, hopefully.
Before we start these interviews, Josh, I'm going to let you know now that we are in Imola next week.
Thanks, Gav, because I wouldn't have had a clue.
No, never do, never will, but that's okay. That's what I get paid for. What a race. So we wait for the last couple of lads, hopefully.
And Owen Moore, yeah. Thinking of Albon's poem. Yeah, very good. I don't know what it was, but it was one of those rookie videos ages ago when Albon, Russell and Norris were rookies back in the day. His poem about getting past someone on the grass, I can't remember what it was, but I do remember something about it. But good memory there from Owen Moore. And I also mentioned that Mayo Man did forget the Duracell. as he joins the party there. So
well, boys, what's crack?
Mayo, the showman, you're here. Good to see you.
Yes, boys. Long time.
Indeed.
We're gonna fight over this interview. I can sense it, Josh.
Cav, I will give you the honours of talking to Mayo Man. Go ahead.
Mayo, my good friend, how are we?
Yes, all good, Cav. I'm shaking after that race.
I would hope so, because so are we with excitement. I mean, it was 20 laps of absolute fucking carnage, and then you turned on the style. Tell us about it from your perspective.
It was messy. All the safety cars, the lads were dropping like flies going around there.
Yeah.
Got screwed myself at one stage. I ran into the back of someone around sector 1.
Right.
Then, I don't know, I got lucky enough with the last safety car. My mediums were good towards the end. All the guys ahead of me were struggling on their hards, and I just felt really quick. Really quick. Built up, kept my ERS. All the boys ahead of me were they were all drained.
Yeah, we noticed that, all right. I think at one stage you were sitting on about 70, 75, and the rest of the lads had their red lights on. So at what point did you think you could possibly win it? You were stuck obviously behind Budge, who's a hard man to overtake for a few laps, and that's probably in the end what cost you the win. But at that stage, did you think it was on, or were you just looking to kind of, see where the race took you?
As soon as I seen the 5 lads ahead of me on the hard tyres,
The hards.
I was like, right, this is on here.
Yeah.
And then the penalty.
And tell us about that. Is there any chance of that being removed? Was it a double warning or anything, or were they 3 separates that were your own fault?
No, all my own fault.
Shite.
And I got
That's
2
a pain.
after the last penalty as well, so I lost the head a little bit.
You made use of it.
You were
anyway.
using every inch of that track and then some. You were cutting grass everywhere, we noticed at one point.
Yeah,
But
running a bit on the grass.
yes, you had a couple of moves on the grass, ballsy moves. You got Sanko the same way as well. What were you thinking for those? Was it just, go for it, nothing to lose type thing?
I just there's one turn, the turn just before the long straight where it kind of loops around to the left. That turn, like a really fast right-hander. I got such good exits out of there.
Yeah, we mentioned as well. Yeah.
Yeah, just the exits I was getting were great. I feel lovelier. I feel good around that track. Australia's good to me.
Can we race Australia every week, says you?
Yeah.
Very good, Mayo. And look, great to have you in. Talk to us about going forward. We've obviously Imola next week. Will you be on the grid? And if so, how do you feel?
Negative. I won't be here. I'm going to Spain. Going to the Barcelona game on Saturday. So
My God.
I won't be here.
You're a busy man. Well, listen, you had a great outing today. Great to obviously see you back up in the top positions. And please, God, next time you're racing with us, we'll see you back up there again.
Fair play, boys. Cheers.
Over to you, Josh.
Thank you very much, Mailman. No, it is P3, man. We don't have Ronan. We have...
No, we've Rory here, as we do every week.
Yeah, once again, Rory, talking to you again. I'm going to get sick of this throughout the season. But well done today. You got the P3. P5 in qualifying. It wasn't a bad one for you. Was there any more time left in that?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have got pole, like. I wouldn't have got... I haven't got in the 17s even, so really top 3, top 4 was the best I could hope for. I think DKF1 started on the hard, so I was able to get past him. But yeah, after that it was just kind of a bit of a train,
Yeah, it was. So your race, what were you thinking throughout the race? Obviously, now I can't really remember what happened, to be completely honest with you, because we were so...
You tell us what happened, Rory.
We were so built up at the last few laps. Actually, John, what? You didn't have a very eventful one with pit stops. You went in for your hard stop off the mediums. Was it a difficult choice doing that, or was that just something you were going to do from the start?
Not really, but the only problem was Budge, my teammate, about 6 seconds up the road, I had Mayo behind me wondering why the fuck everyone was going so slow. I was trying my best to kind of find that middle ground, and I fucked it. If I had have sort of held back a wee bit more, I would have got out ahead of Sanko, and maybe I might have been higher than P3. But then lots of stuff happened and lots of ifs and maybes, So just got out. I think about P7 or 8. And just waited for the dominoes to fall, sort of thing, in the next couple of laps. The last few laps, I think I could have got maybe past Ronan had Sanko gapped him, but Ronan must have been running way lower wings than me because I saved up the battery, waited for him to be flashing, and I still couldn't get past him. So with him having DRS, I kind of just settled into right. I'm just going to get P3 here, but then I had Mayo steaming up behind. And I asked him, once I seen he got his penalty, I said, Mayo, in the party, I said, have you got battery here? Because I thought he might be out like all of us. I didn't realise how new his tyres were, you see. So once he said, yep, I've got battery, I slowed down a wee bit on the straight. Yeah. And let him go hell for leather. I didn't think he was going to gap me by nearly 3 seconds. It was pretty tight at the end, wasn't it?
It was very close at the end. Yeah,
about 10.5 between you and Mayo. Yeah,
we want to get your perspective on that actually, because in our perspective, going on the straight, Mayo man forgot to press X down the straight, so there's no ERS being used. So maybe you can count yourself lucky from that. Were you kind of worried there? 3 seconds. He only had a couple of laps to gap you. But then coming into those last couple of corners, were you worried at all that you were going to lose that podium?
I didn't. I just thought he was kind of like a second ahead of Sanko. Obviously, my timing screen only shows the 2 guys ahead.
Yeah.
And it was only when I looked up the road, it was like, fuck, he's actually miles away. another lap, and he would have got P1 out right, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, Budge's tires were gone, so so I didn't really have to worry about him behind. And yeah, with him getting taken out unceremoniously, which we'll not talk about because he's fucking raging. Uh, with him behind me, I kind of just thought, you know what, I'm not going to try anything silly here and just get the 15 points.
Yeah, of course. And now looking on to next week, and would you believe I actually know what's next week without anybody telling me?
You're
It's
welcome.
Imola. Well, how confident are you around Imola?
Not as unconfident as I was with USA, but probably not as confident as I'd be maybe around Belgium or Silverstone.
Mm,
Another place where you could lose it on curbs and stuff. Maybe not as much safety cars as tonight,
yeah,
but yeah, hopefully just trying to kind of keep it steady and maybe qualify top 4 or 5 again and see what happens.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well done, Rory, and well done on the podium, and good luck to you next week.
Thanks
Yeah,
very much, guys.
talk to you next week, Rory. Yeah.
Hopefully. Well done, Sanko, as well, mate. Well done.
And speaking of whom, Mr. Sanko,
Yeah.
You don't
are
sound
you
very
back?
happy there.
No, I was going to say, my God,
You only
has that
got
man
P1
actually
today.
won the race? You do know you won, yeah?
It was probably the scariest race of my life, to be honest.
Well, tell us all about it.
I saw a lot of murder.
Yeah.
Especially with Bush.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of carnage going on. To be honest, I don't know how I won. I just saw, I looked up at lap 25 and saw about 5 cars behind me and thought I was ruined because I had about 2 warnings and I thought I was going to get a penalty.
Oh, wow, you're on the edge.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, talk to us first of all about your quali, P6, and we've seen your quali steadily improve, I think, over the end of last season and obviously into this one. Were you happy enough with 6th, or had you more time in it?
No, I was happy with 6, John. So Australia is my worst track by far.
Yeah. And then coming into the race itself, obviously, as you said, there was all sorts going on, safety cars left, right and centre, and general carnage everywhere. At what point did you see yourself potentially, being in a position to win the race? Where did it start to come to you?
Probably when I realised, I don't know what it was. I don't know what Wings run was run, but he just wasn't catching up. I thought he would do after the first few safety cars, but he wasn't ready, and I thought I had it in the bag then, but then Mayo Man came through.
Yeah.
And I locked off into the last corner. And I when he already had a 2-second gap, so I was really worried after that. I just about made it.
You just about held on. And about that, Sanko, you have, I think, pretty much turned off every assist at this stage. Is that correct, or give or take? I can definitely hear you locking up into the corners.
And no, I was using medium traction that race because Australia
Okay.
is
Okay.
just horrible.
It's slippy, yeah.
Yeah.
But you have no ABS and no line?
No, I have line on.
Oh, you've line on. Okay, so you're not a complete
So not
psychopath.
not that impressive then, is it?
No, it's actually this interview is now over. No, but tell us about that. What's the thinking? Is it paying now to hopefully be quicker long term? Do you just enjoy it without having the brake assist on, or because usually people go the other way, they'll turn off traction and have the brakes until probably the very last. But what's your thinking behind that?
Yeah, no, I just I felt really slow in some corners of braking, so I thought learning trail brake would probably be the best way to go about it. Even though some corners I'm still horrible at, especially in Japan, tracks like that, I lock up almost every corner.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm getting more used to it.
Okay, and you're well on that journey now. We've obviously seen you kind of step back a little bit over the last maybe season and a half, but you're obviously coming back now up to pretty much where you were, do you think, or have you still a bit to go?
There's some tracks where I think I'm actually a bit better than I was on controller, but there's some where I'm definitely still behind.
Okay, good. Looking forward to Imola and the rest of the season. How are you fixed?
No.
Okay. That's fine. That's okay. That's done. Yeah. Okay. No, tell us.
These first 5 races on the calendar are probably some of my worst tracks.
Yeah.
But last 5 are probably some of my best. So I really hope the calendar doesn't get shortened right when they're starting on to get to my good tracks.
Very good. Very good. Well, listen. Well done today again. Great to see you back up there in the great positions. And I'm sure we will hopefully see you again here before the end of the season. Well done, Sanko.
Thanks.
Right, very good. Well done to everybody on the podium. Sanko especially getting his first win of the season. His first win in a long time as well. And we're going to leave it at that. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll be around again next week for Imola. Same time on Sunday. And yeah, so thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Good night.